Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
I think it's episode 36. It all starts to run together.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of another fucking heat wave. I've about had it.
It's 106 degrees here today.
Look.
I'm hostile.
I'm hostile with the weather. Welcome. We have some new people that have found us on YouTube.
From across the pond.
From across the pond. One of them I know is from across the pond. So thank you. And I'm sorry because I meant to make a note of the names and I look, in one ear and out the other. So anyway.
It's hot over here. Our brains have melted.
Yeah, so thank you. Welcome. And for anybody else that's new that doesn't know, you should not have kids in the room and maybe some elderly that might be offended by swears and some half-truths. I mean, not on purpose half-truths, but like we just talk about shit. And sometimes we know part of the fact and sometimes we don't.
We don't know the whole story sometimes.
Yes. So welcome. Speaking of not knowing the whole story, did you hear they're investigating what's his name's death? It's like over the weekend, like all these people died over the weekend.
Who, Richard Simmons?
So I saw it today on the news with a little snippet.
Yeah, this weekend really sucked with the news.
There's a lot of crazy news this weekend. No matter where you live, you all saw it. But there's a lot of celebrity death with Shannon Doherty and Richard Simmons and...
There was another person. Did I write it down?
Oh, shit. There was somebody else. Oh, how did I forget? It'll come to us. But
Kobe Bryant's dad died today.
Well, that wasn't it. That wasn't at all.
He's 69.
For those who don't know who Kobe Bryant is.
Everybody knows who Kobe Bryant is. He was from Lower Merion, which is our area.
But people that watch us out of the country that don't follow American basketball might not know. So anyway, there was somebody else over the weekend, and now I forgot. Anyway, but Richard Simmons, who I'm sure everybody fucking knows Richard Simmons is, they're investigating his death. Which is interesting because I'd heard like some talk about like a year or two ago, a few years ago, that his housekeeper was like keeping him like locked up in the house.
Yeah.
And then she's the one who found him and reported him dead.
So when did they start the investigation?
Today I just saw just a snippet that they're investigating it. His cause of death right now is undetermined, and they are investigating. So and Shannon Doherty, the poor thing, she died of the cancer at a very young age in her 50s.
53.
And I remember her when she was on Little House. Little House.
Yeah, I didn't know she was on Little House until I was reading about her. But I remember from 90210.
I didn't watch 90210.
Brenda.
I'm like the only person in the fucking world that did not watch 90210.
Well, it started in 1990, so I was a junior in college.
Yeah, you were in college. I was in junior high. I had like zero interest in like...
It was on Thursday nights. We watched that and then went out to the bars.
I was not watching that at all. But then she was in Charmed, and I loved Charmed.
Yeah, she didn't get along with Alyssa Milano. I read about that too while they were on the set of Charmed.
They did not get along. I heard that I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I've heard like over the years that she was difficult to work with.
Yeah.
So
she won some awards though.
And I was reading like a little snippet from something or other online that her husband will like just sign like he just signed the papers, the divorce papers, the day she died, and she was accusing him of waiting for her to die because he wanted to take everything that was hers.
Oh.
And so he wasn't signing them. So they got signed like the day before she died. She signed them, and then the day she died, he signed them. So
nice.
Anyway, yes. So
she was married 3 times. She didn't have any kids.
Oh. So I mean, there was that. Everyone saw the assassination attempt.
Who was the third person?
So much crazy shit over the weekend. I totally forgot who the third person was. It was another celebrity of some sort, but I mean, it was Richard Simmons. It was her, because it always happens in threes too, and I totally forgot. So I'm gonna have to. I mean, you can look it up on your phone. I can't look it up because we're filming. So, anyways, but there was some.
Oh,
what?
Speaking of death, it was 25 years ago this week that JFK Jr. died.
That's why he's on the cover of People magazine.
Yes, and there's a new book out. Can't wait to buy it.
Because people just can't let the poor man just be dead and leave him alone.
The new book is called JFK Jr., an intimate oral biography based on interviews that he has given. Like, they were private discussions. It wasn't really an interview.
Well, I saw you, like, I didn't read the People magazine. It was sitting on your footstool the other day, but I saw that it said, like, before, like, Untold, whatever, like, let's leave the man.
Oh, speaking of People magazine, a wise person once told me that you should subscribe to People magazine. Not so much for the content, but because, especially for stay-at-home moms, anybody really.
I like the crossword in the back.
They say to order People magazine because it comes weekly, and you can take a little self-imposed mental health break and read the People magazine in about 20 minutes.
I find it to be a time suck though. Like I mean, I find like the celebrity life intriguing, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself. I don't care to read about you.
Well, they have a lot of good things. Like that's when I first.
Maybe there's a recipe.
There's a recipe, but there's also like, what do you call it? Like all like the thing about the Long Island serial killer. Like there's always like a good murder in there too. Okay, so and book recommendations.
Speaking of serial killers and dead things, right? Dead people, dead things, various things. One weird from our weird shit file. Did you see that the whale are animals and weird shit? The whale that washed up in New Zealand. That it's like one of the rarest whales of the world. It's like a saber tooth. It's a spade tooth. I can't remember. Spade tooth. It almost looks like a dolphin. It has like a beaked.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It almost looks like a dolphin. It's one of the rarest whales. Like they don't really know much about it. The scientists are very excited because now they have one that they can study. They don't know like where they live. Like obviously they live in the fucking ocean, but they don't know like where in the ocean they live, like where the habitat is. They don't know anything about them.
Like if it's deep down,
because they can't. Like they've never been able to like find them. I think it said they've never seen one live. Like they've never seen one alive in the water. So they got this one and they're gonna study it. So which is cool. So it's just speaking of crime, the guy from whatchamacallit.
That's the third celebrity that died.
No, I don't know who that is. So that was not it. There's somebody
he was else. James. Psyching, star of Hill Street Blues, and Doogie Howser.
Which I never watched either of those. That was not it. There was somebody else. I swear to God, there was somebody else. That was not the. I don't know who that person
was. Was it somebody local?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, so don't worry about it. If somebody else sees it, they can let us know. So, crime, serial killer, something.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth, that was it. Yes, Dr. Ruth. I knew it was somebody famous. It's threes all in one weekend. It always happens that way. It's very bizarre with
Dr. Ruth.
With the celebrities. It's always.
Meanwhile, she was like 100 years old. No, she was 96.
Close to 100. But so last night and the night before we watched this new documentary. I think it's new, Dahmer on Dahmer. Which so how I feel about that statement. With unheard interviews with his parent, his mom and his dad and his stepmom, who both died in 2023. So we had not seen this. Might have been around for a little while, but we had not seen it. We also finished the thing about Gypsy Rose, which apparently there's a whole spin-off on it, I guess, from what I've been reading.
What's she doing?
I don't know. We have not. We just watched up to the point. This has been out for a while. The one on her, where she was getting out of jail and was about to get married. Meanwhile, I read like online because she's about to have her second kid, but she got divorced from the guy who she married in prison. Yeah. And I believe is going back with the first guy she was engaged to. Look, and I'm trying to be curious and not judgmental here about who the fuck these people are that are writing to people in prison and then getting married to them, because you have to know that. And no offense if you've been in prison, or no offense if you've written to someone in prison, but fuck, I mean, like if you're looking for somebody in prison whose mother, gave you the Munchausen's or however, whatever, the whole thing, you have to know you're marrying somebody who's not going to be wrapped too tight. I mean, like there's some issues there.
Right. I mean, it goes without saying there are some issues. We're not being judgmental. That's just how it is.
It's the truth. So, but
not a person could go like that unscathed. Like there's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, she has issues for sure.
Yeah. But there's this whole thing. I told you, my friend's sister's writing a book about love, or she wrote a book about love in the jail.
Yeah, I mean it's
about outsiders falling in love with the people in the prisons.
I don't quite understand. Well,
whole thing.
Charles Manson. Look at all the people that loved him and sent him shit. Didn't he get married in prison too? Speaking of Charles Manson, which I forgot to talk about when we were in Tennessee, and Joe and I went to the Alcatraz East Museum, which was it's a crime museum. Super fucking cool. So we went there because Joe saw something about it online and saw that they had Ted Bundy's car. So yes, I wanted to go see this, and although I was kind of on the fence because I feel intrigued and want to see it, and then also wait, this museum is making money off of featuring shit from people who killed people. So somewhere there's a moral balance there I was having a little struggle with, but we went. We went. So they started with crime shit from the Dark Ages, torture devices and shit, when the Protestants and the Catholics were fighting and all that kind of stuff. went through like the witch trials in Salem. I like skipped right through that because like I already know about that. And I was there for like on a mission, right, to see like specific item. So I go into this room and there's this like little alcove. I didn't talk about this before, right? I don't think I talked about this. I don't think I did. If I did, I'm gonna tell it again. Sorry, you can fast forward. I don't think I did. Because I meant to last week. I'm pretty sure I didn't get to it. So I go and I separated from Joe and from Mom and Dad. And so I go around this little alcove and I was not prepared for what I saw, which was John Wayne Gacy's 2 of his clown suits and his fucking black leather jacket that he was always wearing, like in pictures, and his wallet, and a self-portrait of him dressed up in the Pogo the Clown costume. So I walked in and there's this. I'm in the South. Right?
Clowns.
This lovely pregnant woman. She's some tats and her husband.
A visitor.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're standing there, and I walked around. I was not prepared for what I saw, so here I am. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And they looked at me. I couldn't even help myself. It just like came out of my mouth.
I thought maybe you started laughing because when you get nervous.
No. I just I apologized.
That would not have been nice.
No, I apologized for the Jesus Christ. And then I came out and I was like, oh, it was fucked up. And then we were in the room. We were in the serial killer room. We had come in, and the first thing we saw was this woman, and we had just seen the documentary about her. It was from a long time ago, but we had just seen the documentary about her right after my back surgery this spring. And this fucking lunatic woman who killed her special needs son, her husband, and her boyfriend, and then was in jail. And like she was like grandma, like she like a knitted Afghan and shit, and like you would never like oh my god, like it was fucked up. So I skipped past her. So like whatever, I just saw this on TV, whatever. So then I saw John Wayne Gacy stuff, which was fucked up. So then I come out of there, and then I see Ted Bundy's impressions that.
Oh yeah, when the police made him bite.
Yeah, this like he was
which he was an unwilling participant in,
yes.
but he became willing when they told him how they were going to do it.
They were gonna break his fucking jaw open and take him anyway. So yeah, so they were there, which was fucked up, and his fingerprints and something else. And they have pictures of like his kill pack from the car and stuff, but they didn't actually have that there, which was I think. And then Joe and I had this lengthy conversation in the car on the way home. Like, what happened to that? I'm like, well, I think it's evidence. It just stays in evidence, but like how long? I don't know. They didn't have it. I don't know why, or maybe some other museum has it. I don't know. I'm interested.
Is he
to
dead?
know. Ted Bundy died in the electric chair
that's right.
A very long time ago, as did John Wayne Gacy. Or lethal injection. I don't know what. It was capital punishment.
Right.
So then, next to Bundy's teeth impressions and some other stuff of his, was they had Charles Manson's guitar and his prison shoes, which I was like, oh fuck, but people wrote to him in prison. I think he got married in prison. I mean, and he had the crazy eyes. They had the cover of like
he
Life
did have
magazine.
Crazy eyes.
Life. I think it was the Life magazine cover that he was on. His eyes are like fucking like rolling around just in the fucking cover. Like, oh my god, like crazy. And then next to that, Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses, and that gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Gives me like the goosebumps. I was not prepared for that.
Well, first of all, they're ugly.
Well, but that's not. I mean, just imagine what those lenses saw. Like what? I mean,
yeah, horrible.
I was not prepared for that. It was such like a personal item too. Like I was just like, whoa, and it's such an identifiable thing. You know, like as soon as I saw them, I didn't need to read whose they were. I knew whose they were. Like I mean,
aren't they in their own case? Like almost like a spotlight on them. Not really.
In their
but
own,
like,
they were like in their each one was like in its own thing. And now I had that Charles Manson bit in my head. From the documentaries, you know what to do. I can't. You know, like they were coming to him like wanting to know what to do, and he's like, you know. Look, anyway,
I sleep better than you do.
Skipping ahead, yes.
Wait, but on a side note, Charles Manson was friendly with some of the Hollywood crowd. One of them being Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys, the drummer.
Before he knew.
Well, yeah, but you didn't let me finish. Dennis Wilson, removed himself from that friendship. But it was in the process of Manson like rounding up his girl gang.
He had to leave his house because he moved his cult into his house. Right. And then he was afraid of him, so just like fucking left. Right. Like, he didn't know how to get rid of him, so he just like left.
Right. My point was that not like he stayed friends with them.
No. Well, Charles Manson wanted to be like a singer, and like he thought he was like the next Johnny Cash, which he was not. Like whatever. Anyway, so his guitar and his prison shoes were there, and then Dahmer's glasses, and then the final room on the way out was. I mean, they had other stuff. Like, they have props from, like the guns used in the Godfather movies. They had the whole thing on the mafia and the mob.
Props.
Yeah, and they had a redo of Al Capone's
cell.
Like, they had, like, the items that Al Capone had in his cell when he was here at the Pennsylvania, the Eastern State Penitentiary,
which
in
was
Philly.
like a luxury little cell he had.
It was, yeah, I mean, like
Didn't he have a carpet?
I forget if there was a carpet. I was go back and look at the picture. They had like a desk, and they had like armoire type desk type thing, you know, like we have like the thing above it and like the desk below, whatever that's called, and then like a nice like duvet cover blanket type thing, like a picture on the wall. I think there was a rug, like it was chic. He was not having that when he went to Alcatraz. When he died of syphilis. Anyway, so then we get to the basement. We go out the final room, and they had the car that was used in the filming of the Bonnie and Clyde movie.
Oh.
The one I'm assuming was that Jessica Lange? Is that who that was? Who was that? No,
It was
Faye Dunaway.
Oh, I don't
Faye
know.
Dunaway?
There have been a couple.
I think it was like the original. Anyway, but there was Manson's car, and that was not Manson's car. Bundy's car. Bundy's Volkswagen Beetle, which I was like, that gave me the heebie-jeebies because it was it was just like how many dead bodies did they have in that car?
Yeah.
So anyway,
wasn't it a Beetle?
It was a Beetle, Volkswagen Beetle, but. The museum was fascinating. I mean, it went through like stuff about pirates, like all kinds of different crime. From like they had stuff about 9/11. They had a whole forensic room, which I just skipped right through that.
Oh, that would have been fun.
It was like fingerprinting and like the DNA and stuff. And I see it on TV, and like I'm not a sciencey person. I'm fascinated by the science of it when I'm watching it on television, and someone's explaining it to me. But like I was tired. I was tired of walking around. There were a lot of people, and I'm like okay, like I'm nearing the end of like my journey in this museum. And I wanted to get to the car, and then I knew I would be done, so then I was whatever. So
I had my fingerprints taken, and I was in the Center Daily Times newspaper for it when I was
the first
5. When I was when I was in nursery school at Garden of Children, there was a picture of me. I'm standing on the mayor's desk. I'm at the police station with the mayor. The whole class is there.
Do you have a mayor in that town? There's a mayor
in State College.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, and they took my fingerprints, and Mom has it in my baby book as a souvenir. They brought it home. They just my thumb. But I was in the paper standing up on the table because I was too short to be seen, so they had me like up on his desk.
Well, for what purpose though?
It was about community, and just we got to meet the mayor, and part of the community is the police department.
Like your whole little
your
whole little class?
My whole little like
preschool class?
10 preschoolers in my division.
Okay.
And Leslie was in it, but she was a year younger than me, so she was in the... I don't know if she went, but she was in a different... They split us, even though I wanted to be with her. I cried on my first day because I wanted to be with her, but she was a year younger.
Oh.
She was a year younger than me, so
hard enough. It's late in the day for us for doing this. Usually, we need I needed a coffee.
It's been an aggressive day.
It's hot. I need a coffee.
Fucking aggressive, fucking hot as hell. Like
it's
I read a meme the other day. My friend sent it to me, and now I deleted it and I forgot it. But it's something like, "This weather's giving all of us practice for
mental illness."
No.
Oh, I don't know. Mental health is right. Good.
Yeah.
So.
Hot.
So we like the bizarre files, like the weird shit. I love the weird shit. That's the only stuff I read in the news. I'm not reading the other stuff. The other shit. Really, I would say stuff and shit at the same time. And stuff. I said the word. My friend Michelle said this thing. The new word is shittiot. Shittiot. A dumb person who does something stupid and then like gets like there's like a world of shit comes out of it. Shittiot. I love it.
Shittiot.
So weird local news for the Philadelphia area. That 400 cases of beef, totaling about $15,000, were stolen.
Where?
Sorry, your face threw me off when you made the face.
Stolen.
It was stolen. It was not just like sitting out rotting somewhere.
Okay.
It was a truckload of beef in Southwest Philly that was stolen. So somebody has a shit ton of beef right now.
I wonder if it was on its way to the Italian market.
I don't know. I would assume so. I don't know, but I don't know where it was headed. It was just stolen, gone. Like 400 cases, totaling about $15,000 worth, gone.
That's a lot of beef.
It's a lot of beef. I wonder if they got back to the truck and said, "Where's the beef?"
For those of you that don't know, there was a
people that are younger than me are like, "What the fuck is that about?"
A commercial for Wendy's.
Where is it? Wendy's?
Yes,
Arby's? Wendy's. Where's the beef?
This little old lady did. Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
In the burger. It was to show that Wendy's had a lot of meat in their burgers as opposed to like the competition. And she said, "Where's the beef?"
The beef.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway.
When I first moved here, there's an adjustment period coming from central Pennsylvania to the city and then working in the city. And I would always say to some of my friends that worked and lived in the city, oh, I love your purse, your bag, your handbag, your satchel. Where did you get that? And, it was usually designer. Oh, it fell off the truck in South Philly. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't think anything of it. And
what does it mean? It's stolen?
And periodically, like, I would say, oh, I like those shoes, all to different people. Oh, my friend got them. They fell off the truck in South Philly, which they didn't steal them.
Like the trunk department store.
But somebody came by, acquired them, probably not legally. I don't think they robbed the truck, because you would have heard about that on the news. But I think a friend of a friend worked for somebody, and it just, didn't make it on the truck. But I was like, what is this about South? Like, how many truck accidents are there? They need to get a new truck.
I've seen things in Philadelphia.
So that the thing isn't, so that the shit's not falling off the back of the truck.
I worked with a woman one summer.
It was
one
interesting.
summer. Christ. I can't fucking speak. I've not been drinking. Remember the baby formula?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
I worked with a woman this
that's
one
fucking
summer.
expensive, and people need that, so it's a little different
And
than
she's
designer
like,
bags.
we're driving around, right? We're doing our job. We're going to see some students at a school, and she's like, I have to make a quick stop. Okay, she's driving. Okay, and she pulls into like the loading dock, like behind like a hospital, and out comes this guy with like cases of a couple, three cases of formula.
That's
like
probably $200 right there.
And put it in her trunk, and I was like, what's that for? And she's like, oh, it's like for my sister or my cousin or someone's baby or whatever. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was just like part of like some sort of very illicit activity.
Yeah. I am by no means condoning the stealing of anything, let alone the stealing of baby formula, which I know is very expensive. And it's also needed as opposed to like a purse or something. But my point being is I'm not judging. Like,
well, see, and this is where I have another story to tell. Remember about the DVDs? But I don't want to get myself in trouble here. Oh, well, like, if you purchase, like, stolen DVDs from somebody...
Well, this was a long time ago.
They weren't stolen. Look.
They were bootleg.
Okay, look. I don't know if I can tell this story. I don't want to get in trouble.
Well...
I mean, there's an FBI warning on movies for a reason.
Well, you can just give the synopsis of there were bootleg movies that she came across.
And I purchased. Okay, there, that sums it up.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that.
That's what you just said.
I said you came across.
I came across them.
I didn't say you purchased them, but now you did. I came across them,
and with a bag of... Okay, if you bought 4, you got a 5th one free with a bag of microwave popcorn. Anyway.
Yeah.
Look, I can't... that's a really fun story to tell, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble, and I think he's actually in jail now anyway.
Well, probably. That went on for years. Like, and you weren't the only one. I mean, he was...
No.
He was showcasing his bootleg movies to many people in the area.
Anyway, look.
And they were real bootleg, because I watched one of them.
Well, some of them were bootleg,
like they had
some had the thing go across the bottom saying, like, this is not for, like, anybody outside of, like, the Oscar people viewing it. Sometimes they were just, like, it wasn't like somebody sat and filmed them in the movie theater.
Right.
But, like, there were times where, like, he had movies that were at the theater. So he knew somebody who worked, like, for the fucking movies or something. He had to, because I don't know where they came from.
Right. I mean, they were good quality.
They were good quality.
Movie,
only a few had the thing that would go across the bottom.
We watched Sherlock Holmes, the first one with Robert Downey Jr., and...
I didn't have that.
Yeah, you did. And the words didn't match up with... You absolutely did. The words didn't match up. They weren't in sync.
I still have my stash.
They weren't, so we have some of them at home.
And then after them recording this, I'm going to look at them and I'm going to throw them all away because I know it's illegal to have them. So, look, they're gone. Anyway.
Well, I mean...
I was not recording them and I was not selling them. I might have purchased them.
Well, working for the Philadelphia School District...
I don't know who worked for this Philadelphia School District and what it has to do with anything at all with this.
I'm talking about when I worked with the Philadelphia School District. Why are you being so hostile to me all day?
Because I was just trying to be...
When I worked for the Philadelphia School District...
Not obvious about things.
There was a person whose cousin was in the mob, or is in the mob, because the person's still alive. And the only connection I had was... It was the same last name. But I worked with the person that was not wanted by the police for mob stuff. But again, being very naive, I just saw the 2 last names and jokingly went up to the guy that I worked with. He was doing
I need to know.
He was doing some youth programs and was a coach of one of the high school basketball teams in the city. I was like, hey, so and so.
We're gonna give every identifying feature that we
Hey,
can,
so-and-so.
except for his name.
Is so and so your cousin? And everybody, and I was like joking. I was like, they couldn't be. They're like totally different. I didn't say cousin. Are you related? But totally different ends of the life spectrum. And everybody looked at me, and the guy looked at me, and he's like, he's my cousin. I was like,
Nice.
oh, okay. And then I got the picture.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you want to take any of that information you just got, you can probably Google to find out who she's talking about.
No, because the one person isn't alive anymore. The person I worked with.
Oh, well then there's that. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears and stop talking about illegalities at the
Oh wait,
workplace.
did you know that Kauai has brush fires this year? Right now.
Oh, God, Hawaii does not need any more fires.
No, Kauai has had to evacuate some people from their homes because there is a brush fire right now. And I don't know any more than that. I just heard that on the news today. So I'm hoping they have it under control.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
And this isn't really weird shit, but this was also in recent news. There was an SUV in Yellowstone. Now, Yellowstone has, like, not like, they have windy roads, but they're pretty wide. It's still one lane going each way, but they're wide and it's paved and they are well maintained. And only when you get up to the highest top of the mountains, which there isn't much to see up there unless you're hiking or wanting the top view, they aren't really windy roads. So my point is that they're pretty safe and pretty flat. So this person driving his SUV has 5 people in his car, and they ended up it plunged into a Yellowstone geyser. And it was 105 degrees.
Oh.
So that's actually not the hottest geyser
Christ.
there. But they all got out
Well, I did not see that coming.
alive. But
Thank
it was a
God.
9-foot geyser, all kinds of chemicals. I mean, like, not chemicals, but like just the minerals and stuff in there probably
Sulfur?
ate your skin off. But
Oh, it
105
did.
degrees, the news said, was
Jesus.
just slightly higher than like what you should be in a hot tub at. So the point is, but it went in the SUV, like somehow veered off the road. The ass end of it is in the geyser. They got out as the car sunk. So then they had to shut the roads off in Yellowstone in this area, and it's a high tourist season. Shut the roads down and get something there to haul the SUV out of the 9-foot deep geyser. That's
Jesus
105
Christ.
degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, people.
People. I mean,
People.
so it was like a dangerous road, like a
No,
switchback?
but that's
or
my
like
point.
just
It wasn't dangerous. It was flat, and people are just not
Maybe
paying
he was
attention.
high.
They're like looking at the buffalo, the bison. They're looking at whatever,
Not paying attention.
and people not paying attention. And there are plenty of pull-offs. There are some windy roads,
I have to
but
yawn. Sorry.
this was not, and it's just
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
people are
I
not
need
paying.
coffee.
People
I need
are
coffee.
not paying attention. And also on the 4th of July, there was a shooting in Yellowstone.
There were shootings on the boardwalk in Jersey this summer. Look, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. There's shootings everywhere. You can't leave your house. It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
You're mauled by a bear, eaten by a snake, like that lady in Asia that got swallowed whole by the fucking python.
And
We're
we're
in Asia, right? Asia.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and the guy with the 106 snakes or
We
whatever.
talked about that last week. But
I know, but
the,
I just-
the woman being swallowed by the python. I mean, did she put up a fight? Like, what happened? Like, why is there not? Could she not like claw her way out somehow?
I
Like,
need somebody to.
I need
somebody to check this to make sure that that's real news.
I need like some information.
I saw
on
it too, but I've
this.
not seen any follow up.
I need to know, like, I just need to know. Is a python, like, does it squeeze you to death? Or does it, like, is it fangs, like, kill her?
No,
Like,
it kind of it
like,
suffocates
poison
you.
her, and then, like, I
no,
need
it
to, like,
suffocates you, and then it devours you.
Okay, so probably Asia's also in the list of places I never need to go in my life. Up there with Australia that has, like, 11 of, like, the most dangerous poisonous snakes in the world.
Meanwhile, just hike your ass down to Florida. I mean, they have invasive
horrifying.
species. I think that anybody that owns an invasive species, like a python, or, exotic animals, they show up in Florida. Let me just let them go down here.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
going to let my animal go
I
here.
need a coffee. I apologize.
Because
for
it is
yawning.
too big for me to keep in my bathtub anymore.
Oh, God. Speaking of exotic warm places, I learned of a new place. Sarah, my friend Sarah, who I met vacationing one year,
Oh.
right? Sarah was supposed to go to Jamaica. I'm sorry your trip shit out, Sarah. That was unfortunate that Jamaica got hit so poorly with that hurricane. Anyway, so Jamaica got hit with the hurricane, so she had to change her vacation plans. And she posted on Facebook where she went. I'm like, well, where in the fuck is this place? I had never heard of it.
Well, what's the name of it?
Lanzarote, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Lanzarote.
Where is this?
So I
the
googled
Caribbean?
it. It's no, I believe it's in the Atlantic. It's near the Canary Islands. I don't think it's a part of the Canary Islands because the Canary Islands were next to it and were labeled Canary Islands, and then next to it was this place. But I had to fucking Google it because I had never heard of that.
Yeah.
But her pictures look
My
like a
geography
lovely
class did not teach all
look
that.
like a lovely holiday, Sarah. I can't wait to see more pictures. Safe travels. I think you're wrapping up this week with that. So, but yeah, so I had to look that up.
Meanwhile, speaking of vacationing spots, we're heading into Moab in 4 weeks. And it's currently 110 degrees there.
I'm not taking part in that.
And 2 people just died. 2 people died at Arches.
Heat stroke?
No, well, yeah, a father and a daughter, they didn't give the ages, died of heat stroke. But because it's been on the news so much, I'm now aware of the symptoms of a heat stroke. Also because of here in sunny Philadelphia, people are having the heat stroke. Your body stops sweating. You're completely disoriented.
Oh, I don't have heat stroke.
Vomiting. You're vomiting. And you have to take a rectal temperature. And if it is above the 98.6, like some of these people that are having heat stroke, because it's the most accurate. That's why not to get graphic, that's why they do babies too. At any rate, that gives your internal read.
They put it in the baby's ass because the baby, I think, so they don't chomp on the fucking thermometer. Well, but now you stick it in your ear. I have the ear. The most accurate reading is rectal. So it was like 105 for one of these people and 103 degrees. Which means you're cooking your inside. Adam Joseph, our meteorologist here, was after they were dead. That's what they're.
No, that's what it is currently, which means that they're.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about their ass, the temperature in their ass of the people that died. I was totally just like.
No, but these are the symptoms. The symptoms and the signs.
Look, I got off track.
So if you need help, whether you're out on a trail or in your backyard and it's freaking disgustingly hot and humid and whatever, and you've been out doing, God forbid, jogging in the heat of the day or doing lawn or something. If you stop
you should not be out exercising in this weather.
Well, some people don't have a choice. I mean, like lawn mowing, I would think.
We as humans though are also not. We can't handle the heat the way we used to because we're just so used to being in the air conditioning that we've been like unconditioned by the heat. Like when I was younger, I could put up with it more. But we didn't have air conditioning growing up. So, like, in the car, like, just put the windows down. You let the...
Oh, my God. We used to hang our heads out.
Right? Like, just let the breeze blow through. We had, the one box fan in the middle of the hallway for all 3 of us. That fucker didn't even oscillate. It was just sat there. Just
a box fan just sat there.
Lay in front of it.
What's it doing? It's pulling the hot air from the living room and kitchen.
And it just, you just put it in the hallway and just hope that it blew into, the 3 bedrooms. And I would get in the middle of the night and go fucking turn it to my room, too. Or go, just lay in front of it. Because I was like, oh, my God. I used to sit in front of it and be like,
I know we all did that. Like the scary, like the poltergeist. I called it the poltergeist voice.
It was so much fun. But anyway, I mean, so now, we have so much going on. Like, I get in the car and, crank the air and, so we as humans are less tolerant of the heat because we're not out. Like, I'm not ever out in it. I mean,
fuck that.
I'm like, I haven't gotten in your pool because the water's 85 degrees. That's not relaxing to me. I need something to cool off.
I haven't really been in it either because it's been so hot outside.
We're supposed to have a cool down. We have a severe thunderstorm watch.
We could have hail
for tonight. If we have hail and they fuck up my tomatoes, I'm gonna be fucking hostile.
Now you sound like Mike Spicer over there.
This is what I say. I gotta keep it down here.
You got it. Now you sound like Mike Spicer over there.
To the tomato, to the hail to fuck up my tomato plants. Wendy,
we'll just hope it doesn't bash your window in.
Or fuck up my car.
That's what I'm talking about. Your window.
About my tomato plants and my flowers out front that I brought back to life after we got back in Tennessee because they had surely died while we were away from not being watered. And then
why don't you have somebody water them?
We turn the water off to the house. We're not here because Mike Holmes on Homes on Homes, the show Homes on Homes, which we discovered during COVID, when then we became obsessed with it and watched every single season. It was fascinating. If you're not familiar with it, you should look it up on TV. Great show. When we're not watching serial killer stuff, we were watching Homes on Homes. So Mike Holmes, this Canadian guy, he would people who basically got fucked by their contractor, to put it bluntly, a major house issue, and the contractors were fucking it up and whatever. People who needed help with their homes, he and his team would come in, and his motto was do it right the first time, and he would take shit apart. Anyway, where's it going with that? Where's it going with this? Homes on Homes. Oh, we turned the water off. He always turned the water off because one of the things, yes, they had been away, and the pipes burst. It might have been winter, but still, he said, no matter anytime you're out of town, you should always have the water turned off. So we turned the water off. So there was no one for me like, hey, could you bring a jug of water over and put it on my plants? Like, that's really not conducive or convenient or neighborly. Like, plus our neighbors, the only people we would have asked were the one set of neighbors, and they don't think they were home anyway. I think they were out of town part of the time. So look, I brought them back to life. The flowers in the urn out front are back to life.
They're hardy.
They're hardy, and I do not want them to be hailed upon. But, but we desperately need the rain.
Considering that Mom got them for you, she's very happy they're back to life.
Yes, and the tomatoes are doing well. I've actually picked like 12 this morning. So I was like, it was one last week, and then I got like 6, and the other day I had like a dozen. So I'm very excited with them. Are the
squirrels pilfering them?
Something is, and I think it's the squirrels. I do not think it's either a slug that gets in there and eats half. I don't know. I can't tell what it is. Something eats half. So there were 3 in there this morning laying there. Half was gone. So it's fenced up. The rabbits should not be able to get into it. I've not seen the rabbits. My guess is it's the fucking squirrels. Plus, I built those like green cage things. Like I built them up. I bought them from Amazon and built these like, it was like fucking like Lincoln log things and built them up. Sean helped me. And then put them out there so they could grow up through them. Yeah. And it's great because instead of last year they grew up, but then they grew together and had this fucking canopy, right? And I couldn't like, it was like the jungle. It was like a jungle of tomato plants. And I was like having trouble like getting in and like getting the
tomato plants make me itch. Like when I had to weed them in the garden, yes, they would make me itch.
This year the only ones we have are like 5 or 6 that grew back wildly from just letting the tomatoes rot in there, and it was like 6 that came up. So but they're doing beautifully. But yes, there were a couple in there were half. Just take, if you're gonna take the fucking tomato, take the tomato and eat the whole fucking tomato. Why do you eat half the tomato?
Maybe they
if
can't
I'm sharing
fit it all
with
in.
The animals, I'm okay sharing with the animals. But why do you only take fucking half? This is why I will not grow big tomatoes, because I was just about to be like a fucking bite at every one. And
okay.
then, I mean, I'd have a rage, a full-on rage.
Okay, Mike Spicer.
Every fucking tomato had a bite out of it.
Okay, Mike Spicer.
None of them were salvageable.
Settle down.
But we do need the
Remember
rain.
the black blight that the tomatoes got one year? Dad had a fit.
Yes. Yes.
They would rot out from the bottom.
And I was reading how you're not supposed to keep planting tomatoes in the same spot every year because like a blight or whatever. But I grew them in the same place every year in our raised thing out back, which also we usually have, they put mulch down, even though I tell them not to. This year, I made Joe go out, do not put mulch on this, because something about like eating the tomatoes that grow out of mulch, I feel like is not a healthy thing. It hasn't killed me yet. But I didn't want the mulch, right, like where the tomatoes were growing through, because mulch, I mean, like it just, are there like chemicals and shit in the mulch? I don't even know.
Yeah, because they dye it.
They dye it, yeah. So we didn't have mulch.
As my hands will tell you from last week when I was.
Did you get that off?
Well, yeah. It's still some, and then I bruised my hand. See that bruise?
I see it.
It's been a hell of a week.
It's been a hell of a week.
And it's only we're not even through it.
We're not even through the week yet. No. Let's do it. Do you have something you want to do? Should we do the delve deck? Should we delve into the deck?
Yeah. There's something else I just thought of while you were talking. I don't know, but the tomatoes and the weeding the garden. Dad used to make us weed the garden. You remember that? If you get up now, when he was on his way to work at 7:00 in the morning, if you get up now and get out there, it won't be so damn hot, and you can weed them. Weed the rows. It was like a 50-yard row.
That and picking the green beans.
And we'd snap them. Do you remember we'd sit and snap them?
I didn't mind that
as
much.
His mother, our grandmother, snap them.
I didn't mind that as much, but the picking of the green beans in the heat of the summer, I just had. And the thing, I think I like green beans. So like I'm like doing this like. I don't even like them. I don't fucking like them.
I hate tomatoes, and I have to weed them, and occasionally I'd pull out a tomato plant.
I used to I used to pull out the occasional green bean plant and let it lay there, and I would like, why? God, whatever. God damn it. Yeah.
I mean, we had a garden, and he still has a garden.
Huge. It's still big.
Huge. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like 50 yards long.
It died off while they were in Tennessee.
Well,
because they didn't have any way to water it.
Again, I felt like the Little House on the Prairie. Like Mom would can.
Yeah.
What did she can? Well, peaches, but we didn't grow those.
She made pickles.
Yeah. Peppers, hot peppers. The corn.
I was talking to my friends about shucking corn. Look.
From our aunt that had a farm.
So, because I said that I really want like a piece of corn on the cob this summer. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm not just going to like frozen corn or whatever. And I'm certainly not fucking corn out of a can, because that's disgusting. But I want like an ear of corn. Like, complete with butter and salt. Like, I want like a couple of ears of it.
I want it bathed in the butter.
Right? But I'm like, I'm not fucking husking the shit. I'm not doing it.
I hate husking corn.
It.
Hate it.
And she was like what? She's like, Ben won't do it either. Her husband. She's like, what is your aversion? I'm like, look, when we were little, we get in the station wagon, go to Aunt Betty's farm, pick the fucking fucking corn from the field, from the stalk.
I don't remember picking. I think I was playing with the cows. I don't remember going out picking.
The last time we did it, we fucking picked the corn.
Yes, I said playing with the cows. She had milk cows.
It was fucking hot.
Well, of course,
Beth
it's
Ann,
August.
Beth Ann, did you pick your own corn too? Beth Ann, I think you still watch. So, pick the corn in the heat of fucking, August. Put it in like bushels of it in the car with no air conditioning. The bugs falling out.
How big is a bushel, really? How big is a bushel?
We had a lot of corn. The car was like full of corn.
The station
then get home and sit out back in the fucking heat and shuck these fuckers.
At night when the lights, when the sun was going down.
Shuck. And then get told it's not clean enough, because I'm like half-assing it, because I'm like, I want to go play my Barbie dolls, or go play badminton, or go fucking do something else besides shuck 10,000 ears of corn.
But you know what? It tasted damn good.
But then Mom and Dad and Uncle Glenn would come sometimes too, and then they would all like, they would boil it, and then they would cut it off.
Oh my God! In a great big bowl. I would eat it. They would blanch it, is what it's called. And, which means it's basically kind of cooked, but they don't overcook it, so when you go to use it, it's not like gross.
Right.
So I always wanted the paring knife, and I wasn't old enough to get the paring knife because Grandma would come over and we would shave it off, which is still how I eat my corn, because at one time I did have braces, although they didn't make my teeth straight. And I didn't want to eat it. I didn't want to eat it like this because it got stuck in my teeth. So I shave mine off the cob still.
I go around.
And do you know?
Go around the cob.
And I don't even have those things anymore that turn them, because
I have them.
I don't, because I lost them. I poked myself with them in the drawer with the no. But the other thing is about the corn. This is the lesson that I learned from husking corn all those years. I now purchase corn that's already husked in the grocery store.
Yes, it's already not usually great quality though.
Oh well, already husked. No. It's good. Whole Foods does it.
I love the people at the farmer's market that stand there, because that's totally me.
Let
me just pull off the corner and have a little look-see and make sure it looks good in there. There's no like little worms or anything.
Yeah, and then they just leave the one with the worms.
I wouldn't find one with the fucking. I'm not buying it either.
No, but they just chuck it back in with the rest of them.
I mean, you could just cut that piece out. It's not going to kill you.
No, I'm not taking it home either. But don't.
Right.
Oh, you know what? Some of the stores have done. Probably like maybe 10 years ago around here, maybe it was longer, but I think it's just been 10. Like, you can husk your corn in the grocery store. They put a trash can there. So if you're the ignorant person that peels it open to see whether it's good or not,
I don't know.
You can either throw it out. You can
can't fix that like it's like half shop.
You can either throw it out, or you can just husk yours so you're not taking all that shit home.
Well, the produce place where I go, right?
Oh, they were on the news the other night.
For anything bad?
No, talking about the guy that owns it.
Okay, good. Well, what owner was it? Fran?
I don't know. I forget. It was Italian.
Because the one guy goes to the where I work out with my personal trainer. Fascinating, which I haven't seen in months because of the surgery. Anyway, where am I going with this?
The corn.
Well, like all the vegetables are out. Like you just like it's like bins and bins and bins. You just like I'm going through the Brussels sprouts. I don't want the ones that are all fucking,
no,
colors,
that's different.
whatever.
I'm not peeling something. That's like me grabbing a potato and taking a potato peeler. Whatever.
No,
you, and I'll just... I peel mine there. I husk it there.
Up, look at it. I also like to look at the color, because I like the yellow corn versus the white corn.
If I'm going to husk corn, i.e. buy corn in the grocery store with the husks, I stand there and husk it and put it in their garbage can. No. But more times than not, I go around and I buy it in the prepackaged with the saran wrap around it.
Which is okay, but like the whatever.
Well, Dad goes to the Amish. You remember that lady at the Amish place where he was buying the corn at the farmer's market? Some lady was like in between his legs to get the good corns. Not an Amish woman.
The stuff that he had picked out. I think he set it down between his legs.
Oh, he did.
She's like reaching through his fucking legs. I would have kicked her in the teeth. He probably got to swing his leg like that. But look, I would have been hostile. I'd be like, you get the fuck back. You get off of me, lady. You get off of me.
Maybe he would have said, hey, friend.
Reaching through his leg. Get the fuck off me and get away from my fucking produce. He came home.
He's like, this lady's trying to steal my corn.
Get off my produce, bitch. Look, I can't. People, I can't.
After I stood there and looked at all of this, you better believe you're not stealing it.
And Sarah, thank you, because last week when I said about how people are fucking awful, because people are fucking awful, and Sarah commented on Facebook, you're right, they're awful. She gets people. See, people suck.
Yeah, they do most times.
People suck. And again, if you missed last week's, and you can't hear, by the way, because look, I don't know what else to tell you. We went off on this last week, so I'm just going to touch on it. If you can't hear, try listening on a different device.
Right.
Because it's better on some devices than others. So if you're having trouble hearing, make sure your volume's up, and then go to another device for whatever. So let's do it. Let's do a delve deck. Let's do a delve. We're going to delve into the deck. hope it's not a shitty question. And I don't know why. I might have to like take a card out and like throw it away because like you can't like they're in so tight. I can't like. It's a good thing I didn't do my nails yet. I can't. Oh, I went and got a pedi today. My feet were in some fucking ghetto shape. I mean, it was some rough.
So are mine.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I do like the color.
I went a shade darker because I'm hostile about the summer and I'm tired of the heat. So normally I would go with like bright pink for summer, but now I'm done. Now I'm moving on to a darker shade. And before you know, I'll be like back to red or like burgundy.
I'm fucking done. I don't have gray hair to begin with, but I am done with my hair wigging out to here and being unruly. I can't use more straightening products on my hair than I already am.
I don't even bother. I just do this. And I have to dry it a little bit though, because like if you let your hair wet all the time, and like I don't know if people that never tried this, like if you keep your hair wet all the time, it's not good for your scalp, and then you get like dandruffy stuff. And then I looked it up, which is actually like a bacteria or some crazy shit. Like when you get like the dandruff, it's like don't, if you have not Googled it, don't. But look, so I have to at least dry it at the roots so I don't get dandruff. And then I have to go down the rabbit hole of buying dandruff shampoo, which fucking stinks and smells like Vicks Vapor Rub.
It's really bad
hair.
for your skin. Like, it's good for your hair, but, like, because my kids have sensitive skin, the dandruff shampoo, the chemicals, it's, like, hard on your skin.
There are other ones, though, besides, like, Head and Shoulders and shit. But, yeah, so I don't want to have to go down that. And I asked me how I learned this. I learned this from the summers, like, we were swimming, like, at your house. And then I would come home and, like, be, like, and just, like, leave my hair. My hair would be, like, this in the water and just get wet and stay like this. And I'm just, like, lazy. Like, I'm not going to come home and fucking rinse my hair. I'm going to shower in the morning. And then I would go to bed with like whatever damp hair. Don't do it, girls and guys with long hair. Don't do it. Okay. Delve deck. This is interesting.
If I don't like it, I'm not participating.
What was your last straw? Was someone you stopped speaking to?
Oh, that one's easy. I tell this story all the time. I'm not going to tell you though. The last straw was when this mother was mean to another mother in a play group that I was in. Like, but indirectly mean. Oh. Like
bitches be cray, bitches
like
be mean.
Manipulative. Like she started her own group on the side and didn't include this mother, and then talked like about the mother, and the mother, you know, look, we're all first time moms and we were all like trying to figure fucking life out, and this mother was having a hard time of it, just the whole way around with life. And she was dealt a hard deck. I mean, dealt a card from a hard deck, and this other woman was just nasty, and I
hate people.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out of here. But you know, it's one of those things where I kept getting phone calls because the woman wanted me to be a part of the new group.
Nope.
And I was trying to be nice. Like, we talked about this. It's like one of those things where, like, you try to be nice. No, I'm not going to do it. I was like, Patrick has Gymboree 2 days a week. And then we're, you know, the third day we're doing this. And then, well, in this fall, we're going to start, you know, on this day. So maybe I'm like, no, he's got, you know, the 4-year-old group or whatever. Right. And they were trying to accommodate me for whatever reason, this one. And I was like, finally, I just had to spit it out. The woman that was on the phone, I was like, listen, I don't like so-and-so because of what she's done, and went on to explain it, which everybody was aware of. And I knew right then it was going to get back to this woman, and I didn't really give two shits because it would have been something that I would have said to her anyhow.
Good for you.
So, yeah, but I don't like when people then I was manipulated. Like, let's try and like, and then you have to, they're so nice and you have to like come out and say,
People that force.
Listen, bitch. People
that force me to be rude, and I have people in my life that fucking do this. My one, a girl that I know, her mom once said that we live in a society right now where people just give too much information, and then people expect too much information. For example, when I say no, it's not up for fucking debate. The answer is no. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter what else I have going on. It's not your fucking business. It's not your fucking business. The answer is no. And when people when they force me because they can't take fucking no for an answer.
Right.
And they push me to have to be fucking rude. Because generally, and I might sound really rude on here, but trust me, I'm not. Like, I'm very, very nice. until I'm not. But like and it just makes me so angry when I'm forced into that position to have to be fucking rude to somebody.
Yeah, no, that's what I was forced into. I didn't want to come right out and say no because I knew this person was going to ask me questions.
No one likes to
well,
say
why
no.
not? Or
Most
what
people
she ended
do.
up doing when I said, no, it's not going to work because he's got Gymboree. And she's like, okay, well, how about in the fall when we do it this day? And so I did say no, and then I gave a reason why, no, I can't do this because, and I thought that would be my out. And then, but then she forced me to be a bitch and tell her.
When someone says no to me, the ball is now in your court. No, okay. You let me know what works for you. You let me know. And if you don't get back to me, I might follow up one time, maybe twice, but then I'm done. Like, obviously you don't want to hang out with me. You don't want to be with me, so I'm done asking. Like, it's just, I'm not going to force you into the fucking corner to have to be rude to me to say I don't want to hang out with you. And that has recently happened in my life in the last year or so. I kept asking a friend to get together, and they just were unavailable, and they were unavailable, and they were unavailable. And I would say, okay, well, let me know what works for you, and I'll get back to you. And so I'm done asking. I figure if they want to see me, they'll reach out, and I'll be available.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to think of my last straw though, stop speaking to somebody because, I was just having this conversation.
You get hot and bothered and vent, but I've never seen you not stop talking to somebody. I have not.
I don't know.
I have stopped.
Like, I have a friend, and I've often been very jealous of this friend because they can just, I'm done. The person pisses them off, and they're fucking done. Last straw, and they're done. They'll put up with it, and then last straw, I'm done, and there's no going back, and I'm just done. And I've been envious of that because I know, like, I'm the person that I'll be hot and bothered about it. I'll get mad about it. And my friends know I just have to vent. I vent it out, and then it's gone. I spew it out, and then I'm done, and I move on, and forgive and forget, and I'm pretty much done. And I've been like that, like, forever. Like, through college, like, whenever, like, fortunately, I've had some really good friends that have just been really good friends, and I don't really have to encounter this a whole lot, but I've had some friends that have done some dick things, and I get pissed off about it, and then I calm the fuck down, and then I'm like, whatever. And I'm also very much like the devil's advocate, like looking at the other side, let's play devil's advocate. Why did they do that? And I'll overthink and re-examine the whole thing, and then usually I realize that the person did it to be a dick because of whatever, it fulfilled something for them. It was more about them than it was about me.
Right. So
I just let it go, and I'm really trying to think of a last straw, I'm done. And I honestly can't, I can't even think of someone right now that there are people that I've pulled away from, but not done, I don't know that I've ever done that. I'm gonna have to think about that. Yeah.
The other thing there have only been a handful of people in my 50 plus years that I've actually stopped talking to. And honestly, as you get an adult age, I have friends that get pissed off at their friends at our age of 50. Whatever, that's you. But life is too short. You're going to have to do something really, really heinous to me or to my children for me to really, stop talking to you or stop meeting you for dinner. Although I never like to go out, so some people probably think that's them, and that's not.
Don't take it personally. Shouldn't leave the fucking house. Getting her over here to do this is like a challenge. Shouldn't leave the house.
No, but the one thing when I stopped talking to this person, or any of the handful that I can name, Dad always, I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know why it would have come up at the house, but Dad always said, you just always say hi to people. You just always say hi. You never ignore a person.
The man is like the fucking mayor.
Right.
When you go to the grocery store, you have 60 people.
Even
on vacation, he simply knows.
Even people that you don't like or that don't like them, you take the higher road and you acknowledge them. And you don't go out of your way to acknowledge them, but if they're in front of you in this grocery store line, you say, hi, Megan, how are you?
Well, you don't ever want to be the asshole.
Right. And I was not.
Be the better person.
People watching this can tell you that I have said hi to that person when we've been standing next to one another.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be an asshat.
And she's turned her back, like totally ignored me in line at Starbucks. Totally ignored me. And also, so it wasn't always. It was Dad saying you should always just acknowledge people. People just want to be acknowledged. Always acknowledge them. Take the higher road. Sure. I also had the forethought to, when I was telling this person I want to be wherewithal that our kids were the same age, so I was more likely they were going to end up in the same school, if not the same school, probably meeting in sports and stuff. Right. So I was going to see this person around the way, and I did see her, so I knew that, and I ended up seeing her, and she several times just turned her back on me, like physically. People saw it. They were like,
"Wow."
I was like, "Hey, I don't have a problem." I said hello. It's just shenanigans. I was like, "Are we in junior high?"
I'm trying to think.
Are we in junior high?
I was at a friend's wedding, and there was this friend that I had known for a long time, and this person kind of went a little cray-cray for a little while, and then, I don't even know. I just didn't speak to the person. He didn't try to speak to me. I didn't speak to him. It wasn't anyone I was like involved with. It was just someone I was friends with, and then we had some sort of misunderstanding. I'm not really sure what happened, and he kind of lost his mind, and okay. And so then I was at a wedding, and I was like, I'm not having this ruin my night. I'm not, So I don't really know that I've ever stopped speaking to someone completely. I mean, I might give it a break till I cool the fuck down, and I calm the fuck down. But then I'm like, it's again, like I tend to let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, I did have a friend tell me once. She's like, you can't. What is it? You can't bury the hatchet and mark the spot. And I remember, it stayed with me. And so I have to, I just remind myself, if I'm going to let it go, then I have to let it go. I can't bring it back up again. You can't harbor over this fucking thing. And I have been known to be a beater of the dead horse. Sorry, George, I hate that. I don't know how else to
I beat a dead horse too.
That. I don't know how else to phrase that.
If I'm beating a dead horse, it's because I'm pissed off about it.
But we're not going to keep saying it. But yeah, and that's the thing usually. It's because I'm fired up about it. And so, I'm trying to think, because there is a person who I find to be evil in their heart. And so And
it's not me?
No. And I don't like to have this person like in our lives, but we can't completely dismiss this person. And so that's tricky. Like I just like, it's like they're not good in their heart.
Evil in the heart.
They're evil in the heart. I firmly believe that. But also like to pretend like they're really overly religious. Again, with these religious people that hide, don't be an asshole and hide behind Jesus, because Jesus doesn't like that. Jesus does not preach.
We probably just offended like half of the watching audience.
It's true. You get people, but bad people all the time hide behind, like the pastor that slapped his wife on the plane you talked about last week. I can't with these people. Anyway, so I just
what do they say? Just because you're a man of the cloth doesn't mean you get away with murder.
Yes, but so anyway, so there are people that I just try to keep
at an arm's
distance, and I'm okay with that. An arm's length, whatever. Get the fuck away from me. I don't need your bad energy. I don't need your bad juju.
And I think that person, I don't really know this. I don't know the person you're talking about, but don't you think that the person, if they have hate in their heart and are just evil, that they're probably okay with you keeping them at an arm's length or something? I don't think they would even notice.
Well, they're not going out of their way to hang out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even think those kind of people even notice.
No, I'm fine with
what the world is
this
actually
person
doing.
Like disclosed to us like some heinous shit that they did. And now I have to carry that.
Now you have.
And then I have to have hate in my heart for this person because they're not a good person. And now I'm having to carry this. And don't give me your shit and I have to carry it. Yeah. I mean, if you're a friend and you kill somebody, you need me to help bury the body, you let me know, I'll help you. But look, don't be some asshat that I don't know that well and then tell me some really shady shit you've done. And now I've got to keep this for the rest of my life. I'm not okay with that. That's not cool.
Well, I mean,
keep your shady shit to yourself.
I'd help you bury the body, but just tell me somebody else did it. I don't want to have to know that you did it because I don't want to have to lie.
But I just finished this book this morning.
I don't have to lie about it.
I almost got out of bed last night to come down here and fucking finish it because I was reading it, and then I just gotten to the plot twist, and I forget the title of the fucking book because I didn't remember the title. But I might have you go grab it off in there. Shari, what is her name? Lapina. Shari or Sherry Lapina. Shari. I'm going to pronounce it Sherry or Shari. Lapina. And she's written a lot of really good books, which the names I cannot remember, but several of them are New York Times bestsellers.
Do you want me to go get it?
Like Into the Woods or In the Woods. I forget. Fuck. The Bachelor Party. No, the Bachelorette Party. The Wedding Party. Fuck. They're all mysteries that involve somebody being killed, and then there's always a twist. So last night...
Where is it?
Is it like on the floor, on the footstool? It was on the floor in front of my spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it fell off the chair. I left it there on the way out here. Oh my God. So Sherry Lapina, it was called The End of Her, and it was good. So last night,
you finished it?
I finished it. So last night I got to the plot twist. I was like, oh my god. And then Then Joe, we were supposed to finish watching the rest of the Dahmer thing, and we went to bed. And I'm laying in bed. I'm like, I need to finish this. So then this morning I went to get my petty, and I took it with me because I'm like, and the girl's like next foot, and I'm like looking at like whatever, and like anyway. So The End of Her by Sherry Lapina. No wait, so this is a New York Times bestseller. Hang on, let me see if they have a list of, because Kelly, I think you know. Okay, The Couple Next Door I read was excellent. A Stranger in the House, excellent. I got her confused with somebody that writes the other books.
What was the plot twist?
Well, if somebody reads it, I don't want to tell. Oh. It's really good, though.
Did you have it figured out beforehand? I don't like reading. That's why I don't like reading fiction, because I can figure it out sometimes. I'm like, fuck.
Her plot twists are always different. Sometimes it's the good guy ending up being the bad guy. Sometimes it's the good guys coming up with a plan to catch the bad guy.
Yeah, I don't want to see it coming.
I don't want to give this away.
Okay.
I did not see the whole plot twist coming. No. I mean, bits and pieces. But I also, I like to think, when I read mysteries, sometimes I'm like, I'm paying attention. Like,
I thought you were doing that.
I know who did it. You know, I'm like,
hearing aid. I was like, what are you doing?
It was really good, though. It was really, really good. So, and I have another one of hers I haven't read yet. And then I almost started, because after the epilogue, they have the first 2 chapters of Not a Happy Family, which I've not read yet. So now I'm going to put it on my... And this I had got from Amazon a while back, and then I'm on this kick now where
going to the library.
I'm going to the library, so now I'm gonna have to put it in my fucking queue.
Support your local library.
Support your local library. I mean, it was great. So we put the book. So okay, for those of you that have not been to a
library,
library,
it's like a new thing for you
in fucking decades. So when I was little, we did the summer reading program, and you get the Pizza Hut coupons, and it was so exciting. And I'd loved to read. And I would just sit and read all morning long until we went to the pool, and then we come home and sit and read. I love to read. And I loved
reading.
And I love books. I can't read.
I have to have my own books.
I have to have the book in my hand. So I tried, when I had an iPad before it shit the bed, I tried to read on the iPad, and the page would get fucking skipped, and I'd go back, and fuck it. I like to have it. I like to turn down my page, and I have 3,000 bookmarkers. I like to turn down my book corners. So in my library book right now, I have a fucking receipt in there.
Yeah, I use scrap pieces of paper.
Yeah, like a receipt from the UPS store when I returned an Amazon pack. I just threw that in there. But I have so many cute bookmarkers, but I just
Wait, I have books. Give me this. That both hardback and softback. I mean, I will bend a corner of a page every once in a while, but I have had books that you can't tell that have been read by looking at the pages, and the spine hasn't been bent or broken, because that's how careful I am with them. And nothing irks me more than to be at the beach, and I always try to take a book prior to having children.
The broken spine chaps my ass. What are you doing to the book?
Prior to having children, I used to read books on the beach. But it used to really get my ass if I got oil from my hands on it, or the water got, oh my God, getting soaked.
This is in pretty good shape. This is in pretty good shape for having... I had it splayed open on the porch for 3 days because I forgot about it. I set it down to get the phone.
That's how the back breaks.
And I'm not normally that person. I put it down for a quick second and then didn't get back to it for days. So anyway, but if you're looking for a good read,
I'm gonna read
Sherry Lapina. You can take it. All of her books are excellent. It's so good.
And I'm not trying to be political. Good. You know what I'm reading right now, because anybody that knows me knows that I love memoirs or biographies. I just started Dr. Fauci's memoir. Is it a memoir if you're still alive?
It's a memoir.
It's
a biography. Somebody else writes it.
Right. It's an there is a difference between memoir and autobiography. There's a difference. I don't know. I looked it up one day.
Now I need to know.
In one of my writing groups, I had to decide. I had to make the distinction between, and there was a distinction.
Lucy. The other author I was thinking of with the New York Times bestseller, Lucy, and she's the one that did like The Wedding Party and The Weekend, whatever. She has really good books too, and I can't think of her.
What's that other one that you read that Joanne reads the books too?
And I was just talking to Mom about this the other day, and now I brain farted because you asked me. Now I don't know. Inspector, what's his name? Gamache. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I think he takes place in Quebec. He's a policeman in Quebec, and I can see the authors. I can see her fucking face. I was just talking to Mom about this the other day, and I cannot fucking think of it. Joanne, if you're watching, listen.
Penny.
Louise Penny. Christ, thank you, Louise Penny. Yes, Inspector Gamache, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, like fucking pamplemousse.
I never forget a name.
But I
made a face.
The Louise Penny books, yes, they're very, very good. And there's a new one which I haven't read because I have to go back and read the one before that. The one before that I started reading, and it was having the feel of like the political climate like we have in the United States at the moment, and it was just giving me anxiety, and I got pissed off about it, and so I'm like, I'm not fucking reading it. I put it down, and then it fell under like my nightstand, and it's like covered in 3 inches of dust, and I found it and pulled it out and put it on the nightstand, like put the tissue box back on it, and like forgot about it again. So I need to pull that out, and I'll read that, and that I'll buy. Like I always like a good series, and so I'll like if I start one, then I'll buy those and I'll keep them. Like when I went through my books today, it's my Harry Potter books. I'm glad.
Do you know I still have not read those?
I've not read those. Look,
and it's not that I didn't want to read them.
They are so good. You at least need to read the Prince one. The fucking why could I get on here and I fucking brain fart.
Half-Blood Prince.
The Half-Blood Prince. Thank you, Christ Almighty. I'm not high. I'm not drinking. I'm not anything. I'm bad with names and titles to begin with.
Yes,
but then I get on here and I instantly and when I watch the replay, I say the wrong things all the time. Like I meant to say a different word, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm not bad with names of people that I know or have met, and I never forget a face.
Either.
But like you asked me about news or an author or a movie star, right. I don't know. Yeah. Like I'm half watching or listening when I'm
right. Like I can picture the person.
Yeah.
I could picture like the book covers and the names, but I can't bring it forward. Anyway. But yeah, so. That was a good book, and then I'm gonna have to get her other one. I might already have it. I think I bought like a few in a row, like just like a whole bunch of hers. So
USA Today says once you pick it up, you will not want to put it down.
It's a New York Times bestseller. It is very good. It gave me a little of the anxiety. Like I felt like I needed a glass of wine while I was reading it because like it's pretty intense, but it is good though. It is damn good.
Is she English?
Like British English?
Yeah.
I don't think so. All of her books take place in New York.
Oh, okay.
Like the suburbs of New York.
Okay.
So I assume that they're real places. I don't know, but okay. Look, so we have a severe thunderstorm watch, and I'm looking at and seeing it's getting
okay.
It's getting a little dark,
but
so we're past an hour here. So all right. So whatever fucking episode this was, 36 or 37, I'll have to figure it out.
I think it's 36.
I'm sorry if we offended anybody. You know,
but don't watch. Don't watch.
If you're offended by it, you really should not
Turn
watch.
it off. Don't watch and don't come back. I mean, if you're offended...
I'm apologizing because sometimes when I say a little something that offends somebody a little bit, but not enough that they don't want to come back, but enough that I feel like I should apologize.
Okay, well,
For example, let me just say, so the girl, the country western singer, country singer that sang the national anthem at the Phillies game the other day, did you hear about this?
Oh, no, I didn't hear about this.
Do yourselves a favor and Google this. Ingrid somebody or other.
Is she local, like from Philadelphia?
No. It popped up in my news feed today. NBC Philly popped into my news feed on the Facebook.
Did Joe see it?
No, I was at the nail salon. I don't know if he saw it. I've not had a chance to have a conversation with him today since this morning. So I did not want to hit play in the middle of the nail salon because I have some fucking couth and I'm not going to have my phone on while in a nail salon. Like the woman at breakfast yesterday morning, I breakfast with a friend yesterday morning, and she has her fucking voicemail on as loud as it'll go. I was like, what the fuck, lady? What the Look. Anyway. Loud enough that I just stopped when I was talking to her. I look around my friend, like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, not so she could hear me, because of course I'm not going to be
That would have annoyed me, but I would have wanted to listen then to what they said.
Like, press whatever for next message. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is that on speaker? Anyway, so later, then I came back to and Googled it to find it. So she's apologized, and she's run into rehab today because she said she was drunk. So now, all the celebrities do, instead of just saying, look, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I'm drunk, they always have to go to rehab for it because I guess it makes them look better. And no offense to anybody on that, but, look, I do plenty of dumb shit when I'm drunk, and I'm not, I just apologize to my friends for it, and I'm not running to rehab. I'm not there yet anyway. But the celebrities have to run to rehab. So she was on there, right? And I read a little bit, like the one guy, Bohm, B-O-8, right? Bohm.
Oh yeah,
was trying not to laugh.
Baseball player
like,
for
so
the
people,
Phillies.
like people had the wide eye, like.
I've got to watch
Whoa.
this now.
So I listen. I mean, it's like fucking caterwauling. I mean, it's like Sean in the shower.
Sean likes to sing, and he doesn't have a singing voice, which is really it's a good time though.
It is fucking bad. I mean, it's like up there with like Roseanne Barr bad, like singing. I mean, it is that bad. Do yourselves a favor.
Like she has no tune, no.
Like imagine if I were singing it, but with a country kind of twang. I mean, because I can't sing to save my fucking life.
But you try.
I do try.
You try real hard.
I might actually have. I possibly could have been better than her. I mean, I wouldn't have tried to like fluctuate my voice the way.
What was she singing? The national anthem or one of the other songs? Oh God!
And she fucking blew it to shit. I mean,
Did she get booed because Philadelphia fans of any sport are horrible?
I believe so.
They are bad.
It sounded like they were.
Boo!
It sounded like there was some commotion in the stands, and I'm unclear if it was like what the fuck kind of like commotion, or it was like just commotion because like they get enthusiastic over the national anthem.
Right, they do that.
But
Philly sports fans will not put up with shit.
It is cringeworthy. The kids just now say cringe, right? It's cringe, right? Is that what they say?
Know.
Somebody who knows his shit. Somebody cringe, right?
I don't know.
I think you just say cringe. It means like fucking awful.
Okay, cringe.
I'm not hip on the.
Neither am I.
And the acronyms, what the fuck? You send me an acronym, I have to fucking Google it. Do not send me the acronym. Tell me what it is. At least in parentheses, put what it is, so I don't have to.
I'm like that guy on the Prudential commercial. Is it Prudential? Like with the guy that takes the other guy. We say it's dad. You know, like just stand in line, don't talk to the person in front of you, and like LL Cool J is there or whatever.
I love those.
I'm that person because there's one about if you know, you know. It took me. I was like 3 years ago just learning what if you know, you know means. Like the I.
Oh right. I had a friend.
I'm too old for this.
Who, for years when I was teaching, would text me SMH. It took me like 4 years to just finally just comprehend that it meant shaking my head.
Oh,
because
I didn't even know that.
Sometimes it would be like SMFH, and I'm like, get my phone, googling what the fuck, shaking my fucking head. Like WTF, I'm down with.
I saw a meme.
WTAF, what the I have to like what the actual fuck, right? That I know. LOL is my most used one. LMAO. Anything outside of that, I mean, occasionally I'll use the SMH, but like the TY. When people say TY to me,
it's thank you, isn't it?
Yes, but I always say thank you or thanks. I never write TY. I mean, unless I'm like, even when I'm incoherent, like whatever. I never write TY. I always am full. And here's something that I find. I see this on the Facebook a lot. Instead of saying you're welcome, people say welcome. They leave off the your.
Welcome, but that sounds like you're welcoming somebody into your house.
Because
I can't stand it.
Welcome in that form, welcome by itself is welcome to my home, welcome to my house, welcome to my neighborhood, welcome aboard, ahoy. Sean, I try to correct you. He said Sean will say welcome, and I'm like, it's your welcome. I've just stopped saying it now because I don't have it in me anymore. I don't have it in me. So like the Yahtzee game of the day, I don't have it in me anymore. My patience is done. So but I see it a lot in some of the group chats that I'm in. Yeah. People say welcome, and I'm like, I mean I just keep quiet because I'm like,
yeah,
you know, and don't get me started with your because.
Well, there's that.
That's a whole other one. Anyway, okay, all right. Now, minute 12 here. We got to get rolling. So, anyway, thank you so much for tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
Wait, hang on. I looked up the fucking email address in case for those of you that are not on the socials, if for any reason you want to reach out with something kind, don't fucking email me if you're going to be an asshole. Like, I don't have it in me. It is smalltalkqueens@gmail.com. So it is small talk queens. Plural, with an S at gmail.com. And then give me a bit because it takes me a fucking minute to remember I'm supposed to check the email once in a while. So I have to go and do that. But yeah, so if you have something.
If you're going to add us about mean things, we're just not going to pay attention.
I mean, if you have something that you'd like to share with us and you'd like to, you know, then you're not an asshat, by all means.
This is like some of the people, I know we're not selling anything, but like on Etsy when I'm asked to give a review and I read someone, like the prior review, and they're like, this store sucked because it took her 2 weeks to mail out my thing, and
People suck. People are
It's
awful.
not Amazon. It's Etsy. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Like, don't
People
you have,
like to bitch.
There are bigger problems in this world. Now, I will bitch. Like, I'll say to you, God, it took them fucking forever to mail that out. But I'm not going to give somebody a bad review because, I mean, it's coming from Australia.
I gave 2 bad reviews on Sunday for the restaurant I was at on Saturday.
Well, that's different.
Because Resi wanted to know how we did, how do they do, so I fucking told them how they did, and I got right the fuck on Yelp, and I also let them know how they did.
No, that's different. I'm just
like... It was bad.
If somebody
bad
was
service.
flagrant about something, then you need to call them on it. But otherwise, like, just let the world be peaceful, like...
No, when I'm on Facebook or the Instagram, not the Instagram, whatever.
People go
Facebook,
to town on
people
Facebook.
Will just... The YouTube book that I bought before we started this, I got to like page 20 and then stopped and to go back and read it. It's basically how to set it up, and I stopped. But they said, like, be prepared because people will say awful things. And I will say, thank Christ, thank you. So far, we don't have that. But, I mean, for the 100 or so people, when you look at, like, 100 or so people have watched it, we have 67 subscribers.
But more on Facebook. Facebook, we have way more. YouTube.
When you click on YouTube through Facebook, it counts it on... We have 327 people on our Facebook page.
Okay.
We have roughly around 100... It depends... Some have 300 views, some have 100 views.
Okay, so if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe.
People don't like to subscribe for whatever reason. You know how to subscribe.
It doesn't cost you anything.
But anyway, but the 100 or so, 100 people that watch it, like they're not, like the comments we're getting are fine. They're nice. Like we're not getting, but people are starting to find us elsewhere. Like the woman from Tennessee, like I don't know that I know Kelly from Tennessee that commented. I don't know that. Thank you for all that information.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think she found us because she's from Tennessee, and we're talking about the Smoky
about
Mountains.
Tennessee.
And that was welcome from the Great Smoky Mountains.
That was good. Yeah,
welcome
good
from Tennessee
information
or whatever it was.
Very nice. Thank you.
I think that's how she found us. And then I don't know if the lady who was knitting. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad that we got to entertain you while you were knitting. And she's across the pond. I don't know. Like, is that like someone referred her? I don't know. Or you just found us. Let me know how you found us. I'm always intrigued to know how people find us. So anyway. Okay, so on that note, we're gonna fucking go here.
Have a great week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.